Hello, it's Coach Gabriel Barriga here. How you doing? Just wanted to kind of talk about my ascent into goalkeeping as a goalkeeping coach. Wanted to tell my story a little bit as a goalkeeping coach. I wanted to bring sort of my philosophies, my history, my future, and my thoughts on what it is to be a quality goalkeeper and what's so important about having a good goalkeeping coach. When I was a little kid, I'd say about 8 years old, they stuffed me into the goal, my AYSO squad, a small town from La Mirada, and it was one of those moments where, nobody wanted to play goalkeeper. I'm sitting here, I'm having a conversation with my coach, and he's like, I need you to be in the goal. I need somebody to do the job. I know that you're pretty active, so I need somebody to help me. I said, no problem. Let me give me the goal. So I jumped in the goal. I'm sitting there. This kid bursts out at the 50-yard line, beats all my defenders. And I had no idea I couldn't use my hands outside the 18-yard box. So I'm running at him. I'm 8 years old. I run at him, dive head first right into the ball. He knocks it right into my body. And then boom, it comes out of my body. I put my hands on it. I'm about 40 yards out of my box. And my coach tells me, you're the goalie from now on. But it's a foul. So that started my career as a youth player. My father's Ecuadorian, and he's very, very, very passionate about the game. And so, he was figuring out. He was telling me how passionate the game was in another country. And he'd always shoot on me inside at the garage in front of our house. And one thing led to another. Now this next year, I'm making the All-Star team. My All-Star team did very, very well. This was before club soccer was, at a really high level here in Southern California. And it's one of those things where we turned into a club. When I turned 14, my family, my AYSO team, All-Star team ended up winning a state title, a tri-section state championship. So it was one of those things where our club team, our ASO team became a club team. And we knocked out all the bronze teams, all the silver teams. It got to the point, though, where we couldn't find quality goalkeeper training. My club team didn't have one, and we were looking for them all over the place, and they were all of non-quality. It was all very, very menial, and it wasn't good. So my dad, he tells me, he's like, hey, listen, your uncle played for the Ecuadorian national team in Ecuador, so, let's go get you trained. Let's go to the country. Let's go get you trained one of these summers. No problem. So we go there, and I'm training with Delphine Sporting Club, one of the top teams in Ecuador right at the moment. At the time, they were in the B category, which is the second division. But now they're the top team. Some of those guys I know from the youth academy that I trained at, and I trained under Mero Gallo, one of the best coaches there, in my opinion. And he was a great, phenomenal coach. It was phenomenal, great experience. Couldn't say much more than that. I mean, I got back and I was, I had experience in their culture, South American culture. I experienced another way of life, and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. So when we got back, I instantly, my club team was kind of started to disband, and I got back and I joined the Irvine Strikers under U19. I was 16 years old. And so, they had multiple U.S. national team players on their team, multiple MLS players that had made it from that club. So it was the best club in my area. So I got back, played for them, and I did well. It was good. It was a good little season, and I started the next season as well. And started kind of my parents divorced, so it was difficult getting from La Mirada to Irvine. If you guys know how far that is, kind of a distance, maybe a 25-minute drive. I had no license yet, and so it became a hassle. So. I decided to play high school ball, which was probably not the best thing, but it was what it was. Fortunately, I was able to play community college soccer, and there was a really good program at Rio Hondo College, which was a really good quality program at the time, and still is. And from there, I won 2 conference titles. I was named Athlete of the Year at my college. I was able to do some really good things there and win some conference titles for them. And we were number 6 in the nation for community colleges. During our spring leagues, we would play against Division II universities, and we would beat them. And it was good. It was a good program. It was a really good experience. A lot of talented players that were never given an opportunity because they had the grades or whatever reasons they had the soccer ability, but they didn't have something else. So from there, I had some offers to go to Division II schools, and I thought, no, I'm not a Division II player. I'm a Division I player, and you know, I ended up going to San Diego State as a walk-on, and didn't make the team. I ended up catching an injury during my tryout though, and it sat me down. About 2 bilateral hernias, and it sat me down for some time. And it was a really, really tough time of my life, one of the worst times of my life. And you know, I came home after I graduated my economics degree. I came home, and I ended up playing with PSA Elite and practicing with their squad every single time they had practices. And that team ended up going to US Open Cup. I'm going to the 4th round of the US Open Cup, beating USL teams, pro teams. I mean, just an all-star team of local college guys, local athletes who had played professionally, and it was good. It was great. It was good. Some of the key players on that team were Christian Ramirez, Miguel Ibarra. I mean, some of these guys were ballers, and they play in the MLS now. I met up with a really good friend of mine now. His name is Patrick McLean. Really good, amazing athlete, and you know, he started helping me train, and you know, I started helping him train, and we started becoming good friends. And you know, that friendship led to me helping out, and then me kind of staying involved in the game a lot more. I ended up becoming a reserve team coach for the PSA Elite's reserve squad. And so I was so involved in the game, and I had a job, and you know, that the soccer became more of my job. It became more of something I wanted to do. So you know, I'm coaching high school ball now, and I'm helping the reserve squad for PSA Elite, and now PSA Elite turns in FC Golden State Force, the PDL team. So now I'm helping them, and you know, we go very far in their first inaugural season. Now I'm getting offers for coaching jobs at Cal State LA, Cal Poly Pomona, and various other organizations that I'm not going to say. But either way, I had a passion for it, and a lot of my students were getting a lot of positive results. And now I've become a coach. Now I see that my coaching is starting to transform students and goalkeepers into quality athletes, and mentally prepare them for games, even when nobody's, you know, looking and watching. So it becomes something more. As I'm at Cal State LA, I get a job at Cal State LA as a goalkeeper coach on the women's side. The new LAFC MLS squad comes around, and they reach out to me. They reach out to me and ask me if I can try out, and I do. I try out for a 5-month process. I ended up getting the job at the 5th month, which was crazy. I mean, having going to interviews, they filming my sessions. It's a crazy process. They have other coaches coming in to try out, and it's an absolute insane process. And you know, I'm in Mexico for a friend's wedding, and I finally get the ring. Say, hey, you know, you got the job. You're the new LAFC goalkeeper coach. Awesome. I'm ecstatic. It's one of those things where it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. No problem. So I do it. We do a good job. Our goalkeepers are rocking and rolling, and one of our goalkeepers actually gets called into the U.S. national team under 14 at 12 years old. And you know, it's amazing opportunity for him. And yeah, they get new ownership or new management, and you know, it becomes one of those issues where, you know, the new management wants to bring in their people, and it is what it is. So after the whole coaching staff gets excluded from the team, you know, we all start figuring out where we're gonna go next. I decided not to go anywhere next. I decided to create my own academy because there is a gap in goalkeeping, and with all these experiences, you know, all my students now, I'm able to, because since I've seen the highest levels of the game, from the youth level here to the recreational level here, all the way to the professional level here, train with various professionals, you know, and the highest level youth goalkeepers in Southern California, which in my opinion, Southern California has some of the best soccer in the nation. Well, arguably, but I believe that. And so, you know, it's one of those things where now a lot of my students who I train, you know, they're getting a lot of great feedback, and they're getting a lot of, you know, good experience from me. And I feel like what we're doing at OGK Academy is resonating well and creating a really big impact on their lives. And so I think, you know, with all these experiences that I got, I'm so proud, and I'm very the word is I'm proud and I'm very happy to be assisting with their careers at whatever level they want to be at. And I want to make sure that they understand that I'm going to be there for them, and our trainings are serious, and it's not for everybody, it's for the ones that are serious about it. And so I'm very happy with what we're going, and OGK is in the town, and we're here to stay. So make way, because we're coming, and our boys and girls, they're coming. So have a good one. We'll talk soon.